Hi, I'm the Wolf Witch, and today we're going to be talking about the cinnamon spirit. I have a mug collection like a weirdo, but I kind of just want to show it off. So I have this little Mad Hatter rabbit here, and then the tea I'm drinking today is a Disney tea. I like that there's like Slurpee, but basically it's just Earl Grey. I have so many teas, and I was like, I'm gonna be adventurous. I'm gonna pick an Alice tea today. And of course I randomly chose the most basic flavor, Earl Grey with vanilla. Embarrassing for me. But anyway, cinnamon spirit. So when I connect with a plant spirit, I like using the Antique Anatomy Tarot. Obviously there's a lot of plants going on. It's a lot of nature related stuff, but other than that, you know, it's just a preference. It's not something you need to go out and buy. So when I first sat down to meditate with the cinnamon spirit, I basically was receiving a bunch of tarot cards, but in reverse, and not when I was pulling them. Like, I was just clairvoyantly receiving tarot cards in reverse, and to me that was kind of like the spirit telling me it was a like road unblocker, or it helped people unblock their energies, an uncrosser. And then I saw a little boy, maybe like 12, 13. He had ginger hair and he had freckles, and I remember thinking, this is what I think the Page of Wands would look like if I were to have to describe the Page of Wands somehow. And then when I asked the cinnamon spirit the first question, which is please describe yourself, the first card I got was the Page of Wands, which really made me laugh. And then the second one was the King of Cups, and the last one was the Seven of Wands. And so obviously when I got the Page of Wands, it was really funny to me. It gave me like trickster energy, but basically like the message I had received was that it helps with creative endeavors. It's a road opener. It unblocks energies that stop you from pursuing your goals to those creative endeavors. Sorry, I'm reading. I'm reading my notes like a nerd. Oh yeah, so I feel like when people are talking about travel, like astral travel or other levels of consciousness, they don't typically think of cinnamon. They think of like amethyst or lavender or, you know, a mugwort, obviously. But cinnamon was basically telling me that it helps with the other levels of consciousness here. The Seven of Wands, it also made me think of protection. If you see the original card, it's like a guy with a stick fending off other sticks. So yeah, that's funny to think of like a cinnamon stick, like helping you ward off all these other individuals. It can also mean competition, so that might be something else, like it'll help you, because we do know that cinnamon is associated with luck, so it could help you with that. Basically the way it was describing itself was masculine, even though, you know, the nature spirits are not bound to gender like we are, but obviously it's a masculine spirit. It can also help you with balancing emotions, or at least the way it described itself was like emotionally balanced. So I feel like you would call upon the cinnamon spirit to help you kind of center yourself a bit, which is something that people might not think to call on it for. Again, we think of other herbs to help with managing emotions. When we think of cinnamon, we kind of think of like fiery, so we don't really think to associate with like the earthier, more grounding side of it, but it's definitely there. So the next question I ask is, what do you wish more people would call upon you for? And the first card I got was the Five of Swords. Then we got the Seven of Coins. So much fun. So the next question I ask is, what do you wish more people would call upon you for? And the first card I got was the Five of Swords. The second one I got was the Seven of Coins in reverse, or Pentacles. And then we have the Moon in reverse. And so the way I interpreted that was spiritual battles, basically, with the Moon and the Five of Swords here. Yeah, I don't think people call upon Cinnamon for baneful magic as often as they could be. You know, they associate it with like positive abundance, luck, love. Sometimes they don't even call upon it for love, which is interesting to me. There's so many aspects to Cinnamon that just kind of go overlooked because people are trying to make money. And yeah, that's just, there's so many things it can help you with. The other one I thought of was Unbroken Will, especially if the cinnamon stick itself is unbroken. Basically it helps you you know, persevere, which perseverance is another aspect of the Seven of Wands in reverse from the previous question where I asked it to describe itself. So that would be on brand. But also for long-term spells where people are trying to have something, you know, work over time versus just, oh, here's a quick little spell that I'm trying to do, which is what people tend to use cinnamon for, because cinnamon acts very fast. It's a very fast moving herb, plant, not sure what you want to call it. But yeah, is it just a spice? Now I have to look this up. Hold on. Okay, it's just a spice made from the inner bark of a tree. I literally heard like clairaudiently someone go, it's a spice, like kind of telling me like, you fucking moron. Okay, sorry, it's just a spice. Yeah, so anyway, I feel like people call upon the cinnamon spirit for quick things and they don't really think about how it can work in terms of longevity. And then here with the moon, I just think of again, the Rotom blocker, like releasing your inner fear, confronting your inner fears and repressed emotions, and dealing with like confusion and again, Rotom blocking. Sorry, I didn't know it was a spice, jeez. Then for the next question I ask is, what are you here to teach me? And this is more personal, but I just wanted to share pieces of it on here in case you guys wanted to use it for something similar. But the first one is the Fool. The second one was the Five of Wands in reverse. And then the last one it gave me was the King of Swords. So to me, it's like kickstarting the things that, you know, I'm working on. It's good for like that fiery jump, that entrance. Then we have the Five of Wands in reverse, which to me is like inner conflict and inner turmoil, and just helping me unblock all of that. And then we have the King of Blades, which to me was like, it's helping me clear my mind and perceive, you know, inner truths and all that, and maybe actual truths. But something I wrote in my notes was not an emotion manager, which I know I said it's good for balancing your emotions, but I think it's like meant to be used in tandem. Like it'll help you unblock all of the negativity. It'll help bring that to the surface, you know, help bring that truth that you're kind of avoiding, and then you can use it with something else to actually help balance your emotions. But yeah, I don't the cinnamon spirit was kind of like, I'm no one's mom, you know, I'm not here to coddle you, but I think it can be used together with something else to help you versus just using it on its own to help manage your emotions, if that makes sense. And yeah, we have one more question. The last question I ask is, if there was a message you could give the world, what would it be? And I received the 9 of Swords, the 3 of Cups, and then the King of Coins. And there was a lot of really deep messages here. I feel like I really connected with the cinnamon spirit so much. So for the first one, it's just kind of like fear and love are both sides of the same coin, and they're kind of like just a part of life that you gotta keep going in and out of. You're never gonna be completely stuck in love and happiness and celebration, and you're never gonna be, you know, if you feel like your life's been pretty negative recently, like it's never gonna be all just negative. So just know that it's a cycle. We have that you're fearing too much, and that fear is a self-fulfilling prophecy. The worries of our mind do not reflect the world around us. So that one was interesting. And then followed by that, it's like the cinnamon spirit wants you to celebrate more. So it's kind of saying like, try not to worry too much. And especially with the energy I was getting, trickster spirit, it just reminds me of the Weasley twins. Like they're very like fun-loving, and I think that spirit was just kind of encouraging others to not take things so seriously, and to stop giving in to fear so much. And also that I found that interesting that fear was a self-fulfilling prophecy, this idea of like, you fear something will happen so much that it actually happens. You guys might be unintentionally bringing that negativity into your life, so it's just kind of like, don't even worry about it, just chill, which is easier said than done. But it also had a message asking people to try and be somebody that others can count on. I think community was I don't want to say a big message here, but it felt like important. I don't know, when I was channeling it. So yeah, just try to be someone reliable. And it says to not be so obsessed with wealth and status, and to reevaluate your money with your relationship with money. And I thought that one was interesting, because people use the cinnamon stick so often in abundance magic and like, bring me money, bring me money. And sometimes, you know, it's like, I mean, if any spirit knows the obsession of, you know, money, it probably is the cinnamon spirit, because it's often called upon to just, like, as a quick, you know, like a get-rich-quick scheme, kind of like, oh, you need money? Throw some cinnamon in there. Oh, you want more money? Like, put some cinnamon in your coffee. Oh, you need abundance? Like, throw cinnamon on your door. And it's funny because we just talked about all these other properties, right? Like, it can protect you. It can help unblock roads. And so, like, you would want to have that on your doorstep. But when people put that cinnamon, you know, typically on the 1st of the month, on their doorstep, they're not thinking about all these other properties that cinnamon can bring you. They're just like, money, money, money. And so I found it interesting that, you know, the cinnamon spirit, like, of all the spirits, is like, yeah, y'all need to calm down with your obsession with money. And to just reevaluate, again, your relationship with it. It also encouraged, sorry I say a lot, it encourages people to break themselves out of the ruts that they're in, because some of it is spiritual, obviously, but some of it is so much of it is something that you can do, like steps that you can take, and it's just kind of like get out of that cycle yourself. Oh yeah, and then this is just something interesting that like I always bring like a piece of spirit with me if I can. And so I had a cinnamon stick and I kept smelling the cinnamon stick and I couldn't smell anything. And I was so upset. I was like, oh, whatever. It's probably just like dry or something. And then like after I finished channeling, I put it to my nose again and I could smell it, which I thought was so weird. But also cool. I really felt like I connected with the cinnamon spirit, and yeah, I wish I could share more, but I'm also like scared because witches online are scary. At least, I don't know, I feel like on YouTube you guys are pretty normal, but I don't know, on TikTok some of y'all get crazy and I just don't want to share too much. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you take the time to meditate not only with the cinnamon spirit but other spirits that you use in witchcraft, just as a way to pay respect to them and to really listen to what they have to say, and not just to, like, you know, abuse their bodies in your witchcraft. So yeah. I hope that was helpful. Please follow me for other witch-related content. And yeah, I don't have an outro yet, so